Let's talk about things that. What is your favorite thing? What is the top of the list for this week? And I'll just go ahead and start. So, Silver Surfer Black. If you're not reading Silver Surfer Black, go read Silver Surfer Black. The art is amazing. I'm really liking how the story is lining up. Go read it. All right. So, give us a sentence. Go.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., how they have pulled off another amazing season is beyond me.
Yeah.
Fresh stories,
Yep.
fantastic acting, great effects.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Travis.
So, can I go last? Did y'all have anything else we're going to talk about?
Okay, I can go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So it's not out yet, but I'm most excited about Picard, and I think we're going to talk about
Yeah,
it a
we're
little
gonna talk
later.
about that later.
But that's what I'm most excited about right now.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a little bit longer to talk about mine because Spawn is actually coming up on a pretty big milestone. As you guys know, I'm one of those guys that I think you should always start with the first issue of a comic series. I don't like to jump in halfway through. I had to make an exception for Spawn because they're coming up on 300, and there was just no way I was going to read through the entire series before it got up to there. But if you would ever be interested in Spawn or wanted to jump in or jump back into Spawn, this would probably be the best time to do it. They just did in issue 296 and 297 a history of Spawn recap. It kind of details everything that's happened from Spawn issue 1 up until this issue. And it even gives you kind of like in the back of each one, like every time they show a character, it tells you like this was introduced in issue like 5, and he recaps it all in the back, so it's not like little notes all throughout the entire comic, which I liked. And then Spawn issue 300, one of the things that Todd McFarlane said he was going to do, and he looks like he's sticking to it, is he knew that because it was a milestone issue, he was going to have a lot of people that wanted to do covers, and he actually put out an announcement a while back, and he said, I've gotten a lot of interest, and I have told that anybody that wants to do an issue of a variant cover is going to have to do some of the inside art. And that was his big thing. So
I can respect that. I
I
hate variant covers.
I know, and I think a lot of the variant covers are going to be very Spawn centered. It's not going to be like, oh, it's a Venomized this or something, whatever.
Right.
And I actually, if you go to J. Scott Campbell is the only variant cover that they put out right now, and I think this was a very good cover. This is the first time he's doing a cover for Spawn, and he's actually doing some of the inside artwork. I don't know if you might have to zoom out somehow or go down. They got the full cover if you go down. So yeah, this is J. Scott Campbell's 300 cover variant.
That's pretty.
That is good.
They also have Jerome Opeña is going to be doing a cover and some of the interior artwork. Greg Capullo is coming back for this issue. Yes, I felt the same way because a lot of the ones I've read have been his artwork.
That's right.
And then I jumped near the end, like 275, and read from there, and it was Jason Sean Alexander. I like his artwork. I think it can be confusing. Yes, this is Greg Capullo's artwork.
It's beautiful.
And I'm really excited. I think he's going to do a lot of the interior artwork with Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane's actually going to be doing a cover and some of the interior artwork again.
Nice.
I know, right? And then one of the things, so this is a big milestone because this is one of only 2 creator-owned comics that has ever made it to 300. The other one being Cerebus. Yeah, if you scroll down, this is Sean Jason Alexander's cover, and if you go down a little bit further, you can see some inside artwork that he's done. It is still really good. I think that the lack of clarity in some of the stuff kind of makes some of the artwork confusing if there's a lot of stuff happening in the scene.
Right.
But I still think it's very, very well done, and it fits with the theme of Spawn very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's going to tie the record with Cerebus, the Aardvark, who actually showed up in issue 10 of Spawn. And he's going to break that record with 301. So he's been putting out a lot of stuff for this. All I wanted to say, I'm a huge fan of Spawn. I think he's doing this the right way, hitting this milestone. And this is probably the best time to jump in if you ever wanted to see what it's about.
Nice.
The history of Spawn issues were very well done, and I think it's really easy to follow and get caught up on what's going on.
Who did the Spawn movie?
Deal.
Anyone know?
Who directed it?
The original one,
who
or the
who
new
was
one that they're putting out.
The new
Oh, there is a new one?
Todd
Yes.
McFarlane's actually
Yeah, they're
putting
Well, I was
together.
about to say there maybe need to be time for a reboot, but it sounds like there already is one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it sounds like
I think
there
it's
is, yeah.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, I was about ready to say that.
Oh, that's right. It is Jamie Foxx.
Jamie
isn't
Foxx is
it?
gonna
Yeah.
be the new Al Simmons.
And I think
Forgot
that
about that.
Tom
Mess it up,
McFarlane,
Jamie.
Tom McFarlane's whole plan for the movie is to market it as a horror movie instead of
Good.
as a superhero movie.
Right.
Because he doesn't want to compete with, what
That-
people already
Yeah.
think with a
that-
superhero movie.
I like
yeah,
that.
he has made the comment. This is not going to be a superhero movie.
Yeah.
I'm a little bummed because I hate horror movies, but I feel like I'm going to have to make an exception for that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll go with you.
It's a horror
keep you
movie. It's
safe.
going to be a superhero movie, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm going to watch the whole movie like this.
I mean, you're not wrong in wanting to watch it like that because I feel I'm just now getting used to the idea that it's going to be that he's directing it because I don't think it's a good idea. I watched The Spirit when Frank Miller directed that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That hurt my feelings.
Right,
And
right.
I told myself I loved it for about 2 months, and then I was like, no, I'm going to put down the whiskey and just move on with life.
But
Steve?
anyways,
Oh,
yay,
go
Spawn.
ahead. Yay. Do you have anything, Doug?
The only thing I got is that I recently got the latest issue of the Comics Journal, which is why you should have gone first before me because my thing was boring. And it's basically they rebrought it back, and they have all new essays in it, all new news. They do their stuff completely different. They're not pretentious anymore. In fact, they even opened up the issue with all the reasons why they're not going to be pretentious. So
Oh.
it's going to be like
What is this again?
it's the Comics Journal, and it comes out twice a year. Fangraphix
Oh.
publishes it. It's like $15 an issue. It's pretty thick. Every single issue has its own ISBN, so it's like its own book. that
Oh,
kind of
wow.
thing. And anyway, like I said, the issue opens up with a bunch of feedback from artists telling them not to be pretentious anymore, and it's like 2 or 3 pages. So that tells you how pretentious they were.
Wow.
And then the opening article is about, and this is the main thing I wanted to talk about. The opening article is about how, because of the way Marvel and DC and Hollywood have changed how superhero movies are made, done, and distributed, it's actually taking money away from comic shops.
Right.
So the opening article is about this guy's idea of, and I can't think of his name to save my life right now, but it's about how comic shops should be run as co-ops, as cooperatives. Like they're not owned by one person, they're owned by a bunch of people, and everyone does like a little bit of everything in there. Whether it's cards, whether it's teaching art, whether it's teaching mini comics, whether it's teaching kids how to read, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's all done there in that spot, and it's done to. He brings up the Beguiling out of Toronto. He brings up Atomic Comics out of Baltimore. Brings up like five different other things. But the guy who wrote it, I think his last name is Pressman. Anyway. He's out of New Orleans, and he actually practices what he preaches, and he has like a comic expo, a mini comic expo out of New Orleans. So it's really great.
So he's looking
That's a
at
good idea.
at expanding because right now no comic book sells just comics right now, right?
You'd never.
You
make
sell statues, you sell Funko Pops, you sell cards, Magic, Pokemon,
Snacks.
Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever. You
Right.
sell snacks, right? So he's actually looking at expanding that to art classes and different things that will be connected to
Yeah.
comics.
Yeah, he talks
It's kind of
about.
like a nerd community center.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
Well, so I mean, Deep does a lot
And I
of
mean
that
that
kind of
in a
stuff. I mean,
positive
they have
way.
like tournaments and they do like the role playing games,
Which is
in the
probably part of the
evening.
reason the Deep is actually large and successful.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
And Haven's been getting a little bit into that. I know they don't. I don't think they have like the Magic tournaments, but they do the role playing games.
Mhm.
And the store indicator actually has live, or at least they used to have live music on Fridays.
Yeah,
Like a band
yeah.
would come in.
yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
Yeah, Muncie's been
But
doing
like
some
this
of
one
that.
would actually imagine all of those stores, but they're
Mhm.
owned by many different people, and they all take responsibility in it. So it's like a community.
Instead of competition
Right.
between them, it's
Exactly,
a community.
because
Yeah.
you
Just
can't
start
have
a
competition.
Well, it's almost like a low mill type idea or
Yeah.
a co-working
Exactly.
space.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is what you end up with.
And
You
low
end
mill
up with
has-
different studios that are teaching art classes, selling comic books,
Yeah.
doing but it's more focused than you know that.
I've
Well,
always
that'd be
thought.
interesting.
I've always thought if Low Mill had a comic book shop, that would probably be the one I would.
And you know
go
they
to.
have that. They have a guy that teaches.
They do the drawing, there.
Right.
Like every Wednesday night, I think they
Right.
teach you how to draw and like do the different posing in the
Mhm.
comics and
Yeah.
stuff.
And there's a comic store in Austin that is like the main store that has new comics and trades and figurines and that type of stuff. And there's a store right next to there. It's like a strip mall with multiple stores in it, and each one is a focus. So the next one has fine art and books about the comic art. So
Okay,
that's where I get
yeah.
my books about George Perez, and you know, I got a book
Mhm.
about George Perez there, and you can actually buy. I bought Jennifer's Christmas present there,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
which was the this great illustration of the Gorillaz band. They have, and it's set up like a gallery, so the walls have art like an art
Oh, okay.
gallery.
Huh.
Then the next one was like their cheap comic store, and then there was another one that was just a toy store for
Mhm.
comics. So it's
Okay,
kind of a
yeah.
neat thing.
You're making me
Cool.
regret not being into comics when I lived in Austin for like 5 years.
You would have loved it because they
Yeah.
have so many comic stores there.
Mhm, yeah. All right. So good deal. So now into